All right, so this is episode 2 of the FlameThrowers podcast. And you know what? I was going to do something. I was going to go like, let's talk about let's talk about the gods, man. And let's talk about the coolest people in the world in the story, man. But then I was just like, let's just talk about chapter 1. That would be great. Okay, so if you don't know, say you bought a book yesterday and you open it up and you see chapter 1 and it's colored and well, pretty much if it's colored then it's the newest version of chapter 1. I think at this point I have remastered chapter 1 twice. I'm pretty sure it's twice because I know the first one is gone. That is never going to be printed ever again. For the people who have chapter 1, that's like the original chapter 1 in a printed book, you better look out, buddy, because that's going to be worth some money someday. No, not really. But chapter 1 has been remastered twice. The last one that I had right before this one was the longest. That's the one that's been printed the most times. This one is a 2022 remaster, and I colored it. I did all the words, all the dialogue. Sorry, all the dialogue in the chapter is printed, in the picture editing software I use. So I didn't write it. I mean, I obviously wrote it, duh. But I didn't hand write it myself. But it's still all the same stuff. It's literally still the same information. There's the opening dream sequence. There's me, Nicholas, and Chris at the valley. The alien ships come raining down. Star pops out. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a beautiful, beautiful alien. Can't believe, Jesus Lord, I need to put a baby in that. And then the other guy, the guy with no face but the X on his head, he comes out of nowhere and blah blah blah. That's chapter 1 in a nutshell. It's only 2 pages. And I'm gonna tell you why chapter 1 was only 2 pages. So back when I started FlameThrowers, right? Here's the deal, man. I started FlameThrowers. Me, Nicholas, and Chris were in my basement, my parents' house, right? It was after school. It was we did not have school anymore, because we were out of school, and we were waiting on the weed man to hit us back, so we could go get some weed and smoke at the valley, that day, and still have some for later on that night. That's just what we did. That was a thing that we did all the time. So we were waiting. We were listening to music in the basement, right? Just being dumb. So I was just like, man, to pass the time, I'm going to start drawing this comic book. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. FlameThrowers was created. And originally, it wasn't supposed to be really long. It was literally supposed to be something I did and finished that day. It was supposed to be 10 chapters. I really wasn't going all out with the drawing because I wanted to be quick, rugged. Rugged was the biggest thing for me. I want this to be rugged, man. I wanted to have some heart, man. When people read it, that's another reason why it's on lined paper, because I was just you know what, I want to make up something that make it sound prolific right now, it's on lined paper, so if anybody ever read it, I could do it too, man. I could do that, man. I got lined paper, man. No, it's I just didn't feel like going upstairs to get the to get the printer papers. And I just had a stack of line paper in front of me for some reason. I don't know why. I can't remember. That was over 10 years ago. But like I said, it was only supposed to be 10 chapters. So each chapter was like 2 to 3 pages until it started getting to like chapter was like 5 pages or 6 pages. But the highest was like 5 or 6. But obviously it didn't end up like that. I mean, I definitely did do like maybe like 1 to 3 chapters. The first 3 chapters I did that day, and then finally the wee man hits back, so we went on our little adventure. Then I came back home later that night. I stayed up all night and I kept drawing, but it was only supposed to be 10 chapters, and they were all supposed to be short. And I'm pretty sure I was just like, okay, Glory's gonna go with Star to the tournament. There's gonna be a bunch of tournament fights. It's gonna be real cool, and then at the end of it, he's gonna be like, all right, Almighty, it's me and you, let's fight right now because you're not gonna blow up my planet, blah blah blah. He's gonna beat him, and then him and Star are gonna, like, I don't know, kiss or whatever, and then boom, and that's the end of FlameThrowers. But it didn't turn out that way, because now I'm currently on I'm drawing chapter 37 right now. And the story is, oh Lord, oh my Lord, it became so huge that sometimes it's hard to, like, keep it all inside my head. So I guess I just gotta keep on moving to get to that big old 400 chapters, and FlameThrowers is done. Let's get back to chapter 1. I'm rambling, but isn't that the point of a podcast? You just sit here, you listen to somebody ramble about something, and it's like you're talking to somebody about something you like. Okay, so in chapter 1, the new one. Okay, kids, flip open your book to the first page. In the new one, there's the opening dream sequence, I call it, where that's not really happening. Like when it's like things are starting to fade out. Show no fear in the face of your enemies. Be selfless and provide help to those who need it. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. That's what Glory believes. That's like those are his morals right there. Do right even if it means death, and give hope to those who have lost it. That Jesus, what is it called? What is it called when, like, something, it's like a set of sentences that somebody lives by? Whatever that's called right now, I forget the word, but that's what that is. Like, that's what Glory lives by. His code. Oh, his code. And this dream sequence has nothing to do really with the story, or does it? Who knows? Because actually, I really just can't talk about it right now, or else I'll spoil the entire story. But that's all it is. It's a dream sequence. And then, because Glory tends to daydream, or in this case, if you daydream at night, is it just a dream? Or is it still daydreaming? Because you're not asleep, right? Anyway, Glory was just dreaming. But he's still there. He's present with Nicholas and Chris at the valley. But then obviously he gets into real time, which is him at the valley with Nicholas and Chris. And then the ships start raining from the sky. I'm going to tell you what I originally thought when I was doing this. I was like, these are just ships coming crash landing, obviously, because they're going to join the universe tournament. But after a while, I was like, this doesn't make sense for a bunch of ships to be crash landing on the planet. So let's just say that they're escape pods from ships that the aliens actually took to get here, because aliens are significantly more technologically advanced than us in the FlameThrowers universe. I can't tell you about real life. What if aliens in real life are like cavemen? Like, that's how technically advanced, technologically, Jesus Lord, words, advanced they are. They're just cavemen right now. Like, you would see an alien. I'm getting off track. Anyway. Yeah, so eventually I was just like, all right, if anybody needs an explanation behind that, they're not the actual alien ships. And obviously we see later on the ship that Sage, the North Rebels, their ship, their Nirvana, which is like the flamethrower ship now. Or like, we all like use that as our communal, like, how do you say that word? Communal ship, their Nirvana. But that's what ships actually look like. This thing that crashed in the valley, that was just a escape pod from the ship that Star took to get here. And it's crazy because I never really go into the fact that Star can drive, or fly, I should say, pilot a space cruiser. Because, I don't know, that just never came up. So, and obviously there's not much to talk about with this chapter. It's pretty self-explanatory because it is only 2 pages long, but I definitely wanted to, because like in the first one, when I say like, look at those amazing big blue eyes that Star has, it's in black and white. So it's like, I mean, you're already using your imagination when you read like comics and stuff like that, but it's just like, why? I could just go back and do this over again. I mean, like, obviously the drawing has gotten better since the first chapter 1 and even the first remaster. So it's like, it's a win-win kind of. But yeah, so I definitely included that. I definitely had to color it. It's just all around what I originally saw when I drew it for the first time. That's what I saw. This is exactly what I saw in my head when I drew it for the first time. And I'm just glad I'm able to accurately show it to people now. And like I said, for all you people who don't have this version of chapter 1, guess what? Here comes the plug. Guess what? It's free to read on FlameThrowersManga.com. Just go there, man. It's just go to the website and you could see this remastered version of chapter 1. Just read it. Read it like 3 times. Read it like 4 times. And then also there's also there's I'm sorry. Chapter 1 through 4 is on FlameThrowersManga.com for like no money. I think it's like $5. You get 4 chapters for $5. You can't beat that deal, buddy. I mean, we're practically giving them away here. I'm sorry. I'm so rambunctious. I just woke up. All right, so is that it? Is that all I want to talk about for chapter 1? I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing is really different about chapter 1 except for the way it looks now. But I do want to say, like, it's insane to me to think like these 2 pages changed my life, like for real style, like changed my life, dude. Just that day, sitting in my basement with Nicholas and Chris drawing FlameThrowers, for real, like changed my life. Like, I don't know what the hell. I'd probably still be doing music or something, but nah, I can't even see that. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I think back on it all the time, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Huh. All right, man. That's been episode 2 of the podcast, of the FlameThrowers podcast. FlameThrowersManga.com. Go there right now. Check out all the cool stuff. Check out chapter 1 if you've never read it. Check it out right now. Just go there right now. It's free. It's free to read, man. And there's also a bunch of other chapters on there. I think digitally it goes up to maybe chapter 1 through 7, probably. And then after that, you got to get the books. But that might change in the future. Who knows? But yeah. I'll catch you guys next week. And I think next week we're going to do something a little different. But yeah, I'm getting out of here. FlameThrowersManga.com. Check it out. FlameThrowers YouTube. Subscribe. And notification and all that stuff. I still don't know how all that stuff works, man. Just watch the video and just like listen to the podcast. I don't know. Just do what you want to do, man. It's not that big of a deal. Do you, man. Be yourself, man. All right, I'm out of here.